Ever stared at your screen, needing to send money across the country or even internationally, and wondered, how much is this going to cost me? You're not alone. In today's interconnected world, wire transfers are a vital tool for moving funds quickly and securely. But let's be honest, the fees associated with them can sometimes feel like a hidden tax. If you're an Ally Bank customer, or considering becoming one, that very question, how much does Ally charge for wire transfers, has likely crossed your mind. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Forget the generic introductions, let's get straight to the point and unravel Ally's wire transfer fee structure. Before we get into the specifics of Ally's charges, it's important to understand the landscape of wire transfers in general. Think of a wire transfer as a direct, electronic communication between financial institutions to move money. Unlike other methods that might involve intermediaries or take several business days, wire transfers are typically processed swiftly, often within the same day for domestic transfers. This speed and directness come with a cost, which varies significantly from bank to bank. Traditional brick-and-mortar banks often have a more complex fee structure for wire transfers, sometimes charging different amounts based on whether the transfer is domestic or international, the amount being sent, or even whether you initiate the transfer online, over the phone, or in person. These fees can range anywhere from $25 to $50 for outgoing domestic wires and even higher for international ones. Incoming wire transfer fees are also common at many traditional banks. Online banks, like Ally, often pride themselves on lower fees and greater transparency. Their streamlined operations and lack of physical branches can translate to cost savings for their customers. However, this doesn't automatically mean all online banks offer free wire transfers, and the specifics can differ quite a bit. So, where does Ally Bank fit into this picture? Let's cut to the chase. Ally Bank's domestic wire transfer fees. For outgoing domestic wire transfers, Ally Bank charges a fee of $20. This fee applies regardless of the amount you are sending. Whether you're wiring $100 or $10,000 within the United States, the fee remains a flat $20. It's worth noting that this fee is generally competitive compared to many traditional banks, where you might see higher charges for similar transactions. The flat fee structure can also be advantageous if you're sending a larger sum, as the cost doesn't escalate with the amount being transferred. Now, what about incoming domestic wire transfers? The good news here is that Ally Bank does not charge a fee for receiving domestic wire transfers. This is a significant benefit and sets them apart from many other financial institutions that often levy a charge for accepting incoming wire transfers. If you frequently receive wire transfers within the U.S., this no-fee policy can lead to substantial savings over time. Ally Bank's international wire transfer fees. When it comes to sending money internationally, the landscape becomes a bit more complex, and fees tend to be higher across the board. Ally Bank does facilitate international wire transfers, but their fee structure differs from domestic transfers. For outgoing international wire transfers, Ally Bank charges a fee of $50. This fee applies to each international wire transfer you send, regardless of the amount. Similar to their domestic policy, Ally does not charge a fee for receiving incoming international wire transfers. Again, this is a notable advantage for those who regularly receive funds from overseas. Important considerations and nuances. While the flat fees of $20 for outgoing domestic wires and $50 for outgoing international wires seem straightforward, there are a few important considerations to keep in mind. Cutoff times. Wire transfers have cutoff times. If you initiate a wire transfer after the designated time on a business day, or on a weekend or bank holiday, it will typically be processed on the next business day. Make sure to check Ally's specific cutoff times to ensure your transfer is processed when you need it to be. These cutoff times can usually be found on Ally's website or by contacting their customer service. Beneficiary bank fees. It's crucial to understand that Ally's fees cover their part of the transaction. The receiving bank, the beneficiary bank, in a wire transfer, especially an international one, may also charge their own fees for processing the incoming wire. These fees are beyond Ally's control and can vary depending on the receiving bank and the country involved. Always consider that the recipient might receive slightly less than the amount you sent due to these intermediary or receiving bank charges. Currency conversion rates. For international wire transfers, currency conversion is a necessary step. Ally Bank will likely use a specific exchange rate when converting your funds to the recipient's currency. Keep in mind that banks typically add a margin to the mid-market exchange rate, the real exchange rate you see on financial websites. This margin is essentially another form of cost. It's always a good idea to compare Ally's exchange rate with other providers or online currency converters to ensure you're getting a fair deal. While Ally might have a fixed transfer fee, an unfavorable exchange rate can significantly increase the overall cost of your international transfer. Information accuracy. To ensure a smooth wire transfer and avoid potential delays or additional fees, it's absolutely critical to provide accurate and complete beneficiary information. This includes the recipient's full name, account number, bank address, and the correct SWIFT/BIC code for international transfers. Errors in this information can lead to the transfer being rejected or held up, and in some cases, you might incur additional fees for correcting the information or recalling the transfer. Double-check every detail before submitting your wire transfer request. How to initiate a wire transfer with Ally. Typically, you can initiate a wire transfer through your online Ally Bank account or by contacting their customer service. The online process is usually the most convenient. You'll need to navigate to the wire transfer section, provide the recipient's details, the amount you wish to send, and confirm the transaction. For international transfers, you'll also need to provide the SWIFT/BIC code of the beneficiary bank. Comparing Ally's fees to alternatives. To truly understand the value of Ally's wire transfer fees, it's helpful to compare them to other options available. Traditional banks. As mentioned earlier, many traditional banks often charge higher fees for both domestic and international wire transfers. Their outgoing domestic fees can easily be $25 to $35, and international fees can climb to $40 to $60 or even more. They are also more likely to charge fees for incoming wire transfers. Some other online banks might offer slightly lower or even no fees for certain types of wire transfers. However, it's crucial to look at the whole picture, including other account fees, minimum balance requirements, and the quality of their customer service. Some online banks might have limitations on the number or amount of wire transfers you can send. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.